like usual, I stumbled across something on the internet that caught my eye and had me researching. And the topic was cruise ships and how people get lost on them or die, including passengers and people who work there. So first it started out with me just reading about passengers because this guy disappeared, and then I went down a rabbit hole reading about more people disappearing and horrible exchanges between like the cruise ship companies, law enforcement, and being able to check crime scenes, lying, all types of weird stuff. There's this website, cruiselawnews.com, and it's this guy runs it, and he telling you stuff that he says the cruise lines don't want you to know. It's really intense. It says, as long as a cruise leaves and returns on time and doesn't break down in between, most cruise guests are not concerned about what happens behind the scenes, whether it is overworked, underpaid, and stressed out crew members, or sludge illegally dumped at sea. No one cares to take a satisfaction survey of the crew members. Life on board a foreign flagged box is no box of chocolates for the crew, despite the high guest satisfaction ratings. The Guardian's misery machines expression was the first thing I thought of earlier this week when I read the article, which several readers of this blog sent me, about the death of a 22-year-old Serbian man on the Carnival Fascination. The man was described as a 22-year-old Serbian man named Nikola. How unbelievably sad that a man only 22 years would end his life at such a young age. But anyone who follows the cruise industry knows that suicide of crew members are hardly rare. A British chef was found hanging in his cabin aboard the Crystal Serenity cruise ship several years ago. 2 weeks earlier, a safety officer on Disney Dream committed suicide in a similar manner. And the day before that, a woman in Carnival's entertainment department was found hanging in an officer's quarter on the Carnival Sensation. The popular Crew Center website, which first indicated that the recent death on the Carnival Fascination involved a crew member, reported that an Indian dishwasher on the Costa Magica was found hanging in his cabin in February 2017. A gallery worker also committed suicide a few years earlier on the island Princess by hanging. He reportedly died in the first month of his contract on Princess cruise ships. The Crew Center reported that, according to some crew members, he committed suicide because of the enormous stress put on him by his supervisors. Of course, most crew members do not end their lives by hanging themselves. They usually jump off the boat. During a period of less than 3 years, between 2009 and October 2012, at least 12 crew members jumped overboard or simply disappeared from cruise ships operated by Royal Caribbean Celebrity Cruises. The author wrote about it in an article titled, "Is Royal Caribbean Working Its Crew Members to Death?" The grueling schedule and long hours crew members are required to work 7 days a week, 30 days a month, no days off over the course of 6 to 10 month contract for far less than U.S. minimum wage, often leaves ship employees who are already isolated from their families exhausted and demoralized. In the past decade, many dozens of crew members have jumped into sea. Mental health services for cruise ship employees are non-existent, and the emotional well-being of crew members is not a topic that's discussed in the U.S. Few Americans seem concerned with the working conditions on cruise ships faced by citizens of the greater world community. Most U.S. citizens respond to the exploitation of crew members from India or Jamaica with the rationalization that whatever the foreign crew members receive is more than they can make at home. If they don't like it, they can just quit. I thought safety for passengers and crew was the highest priority. There seems to be little genuine expression for sentiment when a crew member disappears, though. Strange.